set up. Let's test my audio. 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 I actually have subscribers? Wow. Okay. Alright, so got a live broadcast and sound. Do I have sound? Hello, hello. Probably not the best, but I'll have to test it once this thing's going. Alright. Let's get the game loaded up. Way I can better test the sound. Get my share link going. Shh. Alright. Alright, so we're testing. It's still overpowering. Alright, testing. It's a little bit, but that's actually a lot better than it used to be. Okay. For those of you who've seen my previous streams, we've had some serious problems with Final Fantasy VII overpowering everything, so... Alright. Let's get these share links out. Okay. Links are shared to those who to the places they need to be. And with that, I'm now on to actually playing Final Fantasy VII. I'm gonna give a couple minutes for people to get in the stream. My sound up. Alright, I'm waiting. I'm gonna spend a second here. Do some... check, see if I can get my camera video looking a little better. So I got my spectator comments being displayed. gonna stick with that circular cutout. Yeah, let's just make this really weird. Alright. Okay, pixelate, not what I want to see. Comic, interesting. Scan lines. The effects, I don't know why I would ever want these effects. Yeah, definitely want the circular cut out now that I can see what's going on. Alright. I guess those really don't matter from where we are. This, okay. In the shadows. Nah, it's actually a decently lit room. Okay. Some good contrast, alright. I like those camera settings better. Alright, and I am back on the air. And I got no viewers. Well, damn. Okay. In any case, I've got to get working. Let's see. I'm getting all my things set up. It's interesting, you know, they did the bare minimum to get this working, but it actually works, you know, graphically, but it actually looks halfway decent. I mean, I'd really prefer, you know, there's a lot of stuff we'd really prefer out of it, but... Okay, everyone's got their iron bangles. Did I have any? No, I didn't have any accessories. I feel like I didn't buy as much as I normally did. But, whatever. Alright. Oh, I set the bomb already. Right. Do whatever I'm supposed to do and move on. Alright. Let's head towards Eris. Oh, I need to get that up and running. For those who don't know, I am going to make sure Cloud and Barrett, or in my case, Emo, get an NRA nut job, because I was not feeling this game when I started playing. I'm going for, they can date at the Gold Saucer, like 2/3 of the way through the game. And I need to make sure... Oof. And I need to pull up the walkthrough on how to do this. Because it requires a very specific set of actions. After the battle with the Airbuster, before clouds fall, enter B strong to bearing. This is not a spoiler-free walkthrough, or playthrough. I guess I should start adding a spoilers tag. I have played and beat this game several times. I have beat Emerald Weapon, I have beat Ruby Weapon. This game is not a new thing for me. Everything here has been spoiled. Not just spoiled, but you know, I've done it all. I do not have a problem using the guide to get certain things done. For those who don't know, can't read the tags, this is a PS4 playthrough. Um, as such, I do have access to several cheat features, which I will make occasional use of, because honestly, this is just kind of just me playing through the story, experiencing it. I kind of like to give some commentary on this game. This game it was one of my favorites as a kid, but as I've come back to it, I don't feel it's held up as well as some people think it has. The problem being that this game really dropped several balls that Final Fantasy VI did so well, effectively just in an effort because, and it feels like at times it's just because no one cared. You know, why would you care about such a thing? You know, we've got all these pretty graphics. It's kind of a problem that led them. It's a problem that grew bigger in later years. Specifically in the PS2, in the later PS2 game and in the PS3 era, where graphically things were taking a front seat compared to the game itself, which most of us would consider to be far more. You know, the play here is great. The characters aren't. They're nuggets of what would be amazing characters. I love the story, but there's a lot that feels like I don't. Why do I care? There's a lot of that feeling of just, you know, there comes a certain point. You know, Kate Sith just kind of decides, you guys are right halfway through, and we all just kind of accept it. And yeah, I'm not too keen on that. I had such a hard time doing that. There's no signal for you to know exactly when to push that. You just kind of have to figure it out. As a kid, I had such a hard time with that. No, I have to compare this a lot to Final Fantasy VI. It wasn't my first Final Fantasy, but it is my favorite Final Fantasy. And so, because it's my favorite, 6 is my favorite Final Fantasy, I have to look at this game in the Final Fantasy VI light. Final Fantasy VI was... I don't care about the switch to 3 characters. I mean, 4 was classic for a reason. But I don't mind that it's not we still don't have that. That's okay for me. What bothers me is the cast. Kate Sith just doesn't seem to be... I don't get his role in the whole process. I get what they've told me his role is. I don't get his role. And so, because I don't get his role, as a character, he doesn't fit for me more. And I don't like the design of his character. It's not a, like, there's nothing that's entertaining to me about using Kate Sith. And so Kate Sith just, it's not something that gets used. I don't like, and then, you know, you got Vincent, who I kinda like, but most of his limits are, uh, most of Kate Sith's limits, um, are very, what's the word, or sorry, Vincent's. Most of Vincent's limits are elemental based, um, and they're all very random. They cause you to lose, they cause you to lose control of the character, which wouldn't bother me, but I don't know. It just doesn't work. It's the limits as a single solid thing work a lot better to me than as a transformation sequence. Especially since that transformation sequence then also doesn't break damage cap, so it's no better than any of the other single target or single strike limit breaks, which just aren't as good. Oh yes, the trap for the airbuster. So with Vincent, you've got an optional character who, while cool and something you want to work with, you'd like to work with in the end, isn't as brutal as other characters. I think in the end I either had to use Barrett or Red 13 in my party at the end, because one of them had a decent multi-hit limit break, and I was very much about all the power. I don't need to quite do that, so I'm not sure how I'll go in my party this time, but it's an interesting thought. Really? You join the stream and it's immediately what you say. Alright. So we've got another one of these. We've got the trap with Sephiroth. Sephiroth is... I hate Sephiroth, really. He's just a pretty boy with a big sword in a game that already has a pretty boy with a big sword. His is just bigger, and it's just all a sword measuring contest, and we know how those go. Also, you can hit me, but One-Winged Angel was not that good. Buster! And now President Shinra gets on her. Yeah. He is. He really is. And the problem, and Advent Children did him no favors in that department. It just made it worse. Same with whatever the that earlier game was, or the prequel game that they made for the PSP. I played it. I think I beat it. I didn't care about 100%ing it because I just wanted to see the story, and it made about as much sense as anything. Crisis Core, yes. That one. Get everyone healed. Alright. So, Crush Slash. I can never remember the secret for this one. I guess it's to only beat him up in front. I almost just want to limit spam this fight. I want to get out of Midgar so bad. Ah, there it is. That's done. Okay. Titan Bangle. Attack on Titan Bangle. Apparently I'm just going to be playing an old game and just doing a string of modern pop culture references. Oh, this is going to be fun. I'm sure. And now I'm going to drop so far down into the bowels of the earth that I should not be able to survive. But apparently a bed of flowers breaks my fall, and all is good. It bugged me as a kid, too. It's like, so think about the terrorist kind of plots of Final Fantasy VI versus Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VI, you were in Final Fantasy VI, you were a group of resistance fighters against the evil Empire, wanting to wield Magitech to conquer the world. And so, you know, and it immediately went into just super excitement. You started off in a super powerful suit of Magitech armor, and then you did a lot of adventures. You did a lot of kind of uh, you very quickly got into adventures, and the stakes were made very apparent to you very quickly about how just cruel the Empire is. That it comes up very quickly, and then very quickly, and you're split up, and you keep seeing all the ways in which the Empire is cruel, and then you get thrust into the main plot of the game, with the Espers and the other world, and uh, so you're very invested in the characters right away. Here, you're a resistance organization that starts by blowing up a power plant, um, because of some vague claims that the power plant is killing the planet. Um, and then proceed to just kind of do some kind of vague stuff. And like only here do you start to feel the idea that this commentary that you are actually that what you're doing is right might be true. You're finally seeing that first instance for these first instances of Shinra's problems firsthand. Um, in the idea of these flowers are something different. They normally shouldn't be. They normally aren't here. Um, uh, I don't know about the toxic smoke. What I know it is the power plants are refining materia, but one of the big things they're doing is they're pumping the life stream, the energy source of the planet, and they're draining it. Um, and that's why these flowers are that are here are so rare, is because uh, the life stream in this area is very weak because of the power plants. And yeah, that's kind of bad. But the thing is it's all kind of hokum until this moment, and you have to really think about why the flowers are so rare in the slums, and why grass and flowers won't grow in Midgar. Um, that's the first time we're really seeing it. Whereas we kind of saw it right away with in Final Fantasy VI. So we're finally, for the first time, really seeing that yes, this is a kind of valid. This is kind of we're actually having a valid thing. But even then, it's not till later in the game that we really start to see that Shinra's a bad thing. And that's kind of hard because then it doesn't invest us in the fight really early, and it doesn't invest us in the characters. The aloofness of Cloud, his arrogance, really hurts that. It really hurts that plan. Is the fact that it really hurts the game's investment in these characters. And unfortunately, the eco-terrorist blowing up the power plant, it doesn't, as maybe this wasn't as bad pre 9/11, pre terrorism being everything, but terrorist bombings, you know, you're saving the planet, sure, but it doesn't make for a relatable protagonist. Checking the flowers. No, no, it isn't. But the problem is that eco-terrorists. The problem is in general, bombings and are just generally. I feel like they just don't seem as the very direct bombings. You're thrust without having seen the evil of Shinra. You are thrust into blowing up a power plant that supposedly provides energy to the citizens on the plate. And it would seem that would be very something that would seem to be a very important thing to, it's like, it feeds energy not just the people on the plate, the rich people, but the people below. They have energy too, and that must come from the reactors as well. So, in blowing up that reactor, you're probably hurting the people below a whole lot worse than you ever hurt Shinra. And so, unlike... I mean, I'm just saying that, yeah, it's... What... It doesn't... I didn't feel the necessity of the act before I was told to do it. And that made me lose the feeling I have with the connection I have with the characters. Unlike, gotta name someone. Unlike in Final Fantasy VI, where, under mind control, I burned the hell out of a bunch of people, turned them into ash, and then once I was released from mind control, spent a ton of time fleeing the Empire, seeing their cruelty, seeing them do anything to recapture me. Then I saw them poison a village. Then I went on the attack and attacked the Empire, and that completely changed my perspective of the actions being taken. Because now I'm fighting something that is cruel and unjust, and I'm fighting their weapons factory. Not I'm fighting a corporation and I'm kind of blowing up one of their power plants. And I haven't seen their cruelty firsthand. I don't know, that just seemed strange to me. So, I'm thinking from a spoiler... So, I've already said this is not going to be a spoiler-free run-through. I'm thinking dies. I'm considering maybe Disc 1 Death for her name. Maybe Y? Y would be funny. I don't have an exclamation point. That would have been useful. Why? I wonder if I like swords would fit. Nope. I like swords will not fit. Give me one sec, everyone. Okay, so I can't get... I like swords. I guess I could just go with flowers. Hippie doesn't quite work for her. I can't fit 50's housewife. Ooh, it's just so hard to choose. I've got a lot of names, but a lot of them are probably just not going to work out well. So I'll just go with... Band-Aids. Band-Aids. Because that's her role while I have her. Just fits. Oh, this is so brilliant. I'm Band-Aids the Flower Girl. Ha! He's right there! Right behind you. Can't get a date. So I'm supposed to, in this next section, do a bunch of stuff. And don't step on the flowers. So... Don't let her get away! Shoot the shit out of her! We need to capture her alive, but let's shoot her anyway. Alright, this is the rough part, because I can never figure out which barrel is supposed to go where. And that's intentional. I need to actually make sure that none of the barrels hit the people. And as I've noted before, the first time I ever played this game, my friend insisted I run with cheats to make sure I had a limit. I always had a limit break, which meant I ended up not being able to get past to this area. I was, suffice to say, quite frustrated. I'll fight a rat in the rafters. Oh, these... What are these things? Two down. Um, that guard looks a lot like two cats. Yeah, this is why I buy these grenades. And let's see if I fucked this up. Nope. Wait, wait, I said. Given his later comments, I don't know, this arrogance just seems so weird. that's gonna be my game today. I've got, unfortunately, other things to do. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.